Hello everyone, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. I'm going to do my first ever experience video, and I'm so thrilled I went, and I'm going to be talking about my first dog show I ever went to, and it was amazing. Like, I was blown away, and I'm going to tell you about the page I wrote about the dog show and everything it has to offer and stuff, and all the details is on this page. So I'm just going to go through and explain what everything I did was. So it was held at the Portland Expo Center. It was like on like a highway, and it was near like the Washington state border. So it was like 25 minutes away from my house, and we don't really go out there that often. I used to play soccer near that area, so that was the only time I've been on that highway and to Washington State. But it was really close to the border, and I've been there for my rabbit convention. There was like about maybe 100,000 rabbits, so I've been there for that, and now the dog show. And the event was Wednesday to Sunday, so it was like 5 days of the dog show, and we went to the first day, and the first day was free, and we didn't know that. The website said $10 or $15, but it was easy because it was the first day, so not everything was set up and everything was happening then. So I was just like, I felt like I saved $1,000 because it was worth so much to me that it was free. And just looking at dogs and being around dogs, anything costs money because it's so much, like, there's so much in here that I would want to spend my money on, and that includes dogs. But if it was free, then I saved like a lot of money. And I'm glad that it worked out, that I went with my life coach, and she wanted to go with me, and it was Wednesday, the first day. So what are the odds we went on the first day, because that never happens. And then I arrived at 10:30, and plus we had to pay for parking, so it was not really free for the event because of parking, but parking was $8 for a car, so it was still good. It was like $4 a person for the two of us. And then we left at like 1, so we were there for at least 2.5, 3 hours. And I saw the behind the scenes of getting the dogs ready, so we got to see everything like that. It was amazing. Like, we got to see them shampoo, trim their nails, do hairstyles, practice training, and it was just amazing. Like, you don't get that treatment everywhere, especially if it was a dog show. And everyone in the public has a fee to enter the dog, and then they pay money to show the dog. And we were just right in the middle of like, oh, you just walk through this section. Like, there was 3 rooms, and each room had like 8 or 9 breeds, so it was a lot of dogs in one place. And we got to like be where the dog show was. We didn't have to sit on the stands. We actually got to be a part of it and walk where the dogs walked with the owners and stuff, and that was such a experience. When I walked in, my first like reaction was like, whoa, that's a lot of dogs. Like, that was my reaction to just entering the facility and just seeing all this dog stuff. And I was in heaven. I was in dog heaven. I was like so happy to be there, and that was my reaction. And then it was just like, oh, it's like I don't have a dog, but I'm around so many dogs. So it felt like I had a dog for like a second. It was just amazing. And we got to see them like getting ready, and then during the show, and then after, we saw them have a photo shoot, and they had to be very careful with the photo shoot setup because they needed the dog in a certain position with their owners, and you couldn't see them manhandle the dogs, like put this paw here and put their back paw here, and then if they moved like this, then the owners had to do this. And like, it was just like really technical and stuff. So was we got to see all that, and just for them to like have the dog stay in one spot for like being the trophy and stuff, and having the photographer take a picture like this. The dog had to stay in that one spot for 30 seconds, and after a couple tries, the dogs did. Like, they listened, because of course the owners had to like control the dog. And if it's like dog show stuff, then yeah, I feel like the owners control the dog. And I really don't like how they control the dog in that area, because they need to be a animal and have fun and be a pet. So they do have dog show versus animal life or pet life at home. But it kind of like made me frustrated how they were like treating their animals like a doll. But that is what needs to be done to be at the dog show. So it made me kind of like, wow, that's really time consuming. And then we walked around the place, and we kept track of our mileage, and we walked at least 1.5 miles. My life coach has a Apple Watch, so she checked, because I asked her, because I was really curious, because we did all this walking in a big building in different rooms, so I knew we walked a lot. And then we had all pure breeds. It was no mixes. So we saw most breeds. I don't know how many breeds there are in dog breeds, but we saw a lot of dogs. Tiny to big. So it was a big range, and you could sit where you wanted to see like that breed, and each section had a breed. So it was just fun to walk around and see dogs that you wanted to see. And it was like 6 or 12 of the same dog of the breed. So it was amazing how there's like 12 dogs of the same breed with their different owners. And I thought, wow, they all look alike. Like, they look like a pack of wolves, because they're just the same face, the same color, the same coat, the same everything. So it's like got me crazy. Like, whoa, like seeing a bunch of golden retrievers, like 15 of them. That is just, wow, a lot of dogs in that arena, plus the same breed, got me crazy. Like, I always loved seeing people with like lots of the same breeds. And then overall, the experience was really fun. It was like a lot of watching, and my eyes got glazed. Like, my eyes were like I got tired. It was so overwhelming. It was like lots of looking around and walking and wanting to stay in this one place, and then walking, and then looking at this dog and petting this dog, because it was before the show or after the show, so the owners let us pet the dogs. And we had one experience where we were sitting next to like the bulldogs, and one of the competitors and their dog were sitting next to us, and my life coach wanted to sit down, so of course she did. And I was just like, oh, I wanted to stand because it was more comfortable for me, and I sat down when there was no one on the seat besides my life coach and that other person with their dog. So I went down, and we were allowed to pet that dog and pet the dog, and it was just amazing how we got to pet a show dog, and we got to see him compete with his dog 15 minutes later after sitting there with the other dogs. And it was just amazing. Like, you never get that opportunity to pet a show dog. But of course, it's public, so anyone could enter to do a dog show. But just to, like, see the dog competing and stuff and petting their dog, it was just, like, breathtaking. Like, I was in shock that we were allowed to. And I was overwhelmed and happy. Like, I was happy. And of course, it was the first day, so there was not many people there. So it was going through the weekend, so of course I picked the right day to be there. Of course, we didn't know it was the first day we arrived, but I would not want to be there Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because that would just be packed. And plus, they were still setting up the day we got there with all the events and stuff. But it was just, I'm just glad I went, because I am such a dog person. I'm such a animal person. And just to see this all happen right in front of my eyes, it was everything I wanted. Just to see dogs do everything. And then I found out about this dog show because I go to a dentist, and a dental hygienist was cleaning my teeth. Her name is Karen, and she is from Portland, Oregon, and I went to clean my teeth and have my regular dentist appointment or checkup, and she was talking about the dog show because she is really into dogs. She has 2 dogs herself of the same breed, and I love that too. It's 2 dogs of the same breed. I love that. And she was like talking about me, about like what I wanted to do, and it's like, I dog sit, I love dogs, I have my own animals, I'm around dogs a lot, and I dog sit, so she knows I love animals too. And just for her to say there's a dog show coming up in a couple weeks, and that was maybe a month ago. We caught it in time because it doesn't happen very often. It happens like once a year there. So I was thrilled. We went, and it was the free day, so of course I was happy. So I want to give a shout out to Karen for just saying that to me, because I would have missed it, and I just wanted that experience, and they finally did. And I am just so happy I got to go with my life coach and just to be there for 3 hours. And then when I was driving home with my life coach in her car, she was talking about it. I was talking about it, even just like going out and going back home. I was in shock. Like, it took the whole day by turn. Like, I was in that one mode, was like, whoa, surrounded by dogs and everything. And when we saw the dogs getting prepped for the show, you could tell it smelled a little bit different than the arenas, because they had to groom and shampoo and brush, and you got to see, I got to see a poodle, like a tiny poodle, like a miniature poodle, like probably this big, getting their fur done by braids and looking like a human, kind of. They were like treating their animals like humans, and they spoil the dogs. It costs a lot of money to own a show dog. Plus, if it's a hobby, then that's a lot of money. So they have a lot of stuff to pamper them and to make them comfy. When the dogs were waiting, and some owners have 2 dogs, so they have cages waiting and stuff. It was just like amazing. Like, I just couldn't believe my eyes. So I'm just still in shock that I got to have that experience. So I just wanted to document this because it was my first experience and I loved it. So if you ever gone to a dog show, give this video a thumbs up for dogs. If you have a dog, give this video a thumbs up. If you dog sit, give it 2 thumbs up, because I am everything with dogs and animals. And just to see all this happen, I just loved that day. That day was a 10 out of 10. It was one of my biggest highlights of my life. And dogs are one of my favorite animals, and it was just so fun to see all these different kinds of breeds, and it felt amazing. Like, my heart was pounding so fast because I knew it was just like overwhelming, and I was just like, what do I do next? Because there was so many places to go within that facility. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.